They've gone from 9/11, assassinating Kennedy, to taking out a TikToker. I'm a mid-value male. Human trafficking is a job that requires a lot of admin. Andrew Tate has once again been arrested for allegedly human trafficking. Happens every year. It's like Christmas. It just creeps up on you every year, doesn't it? You know, Andrew Tate has once again been arrested for human trafficking. So Tate and his brother, they were in Miami. Just nearing the end of the World Cup, they were arrested. Unfortunately, they didn't get to see the last game, which is the true tragedy in all of this. They didn't get to watch Spain lift the World Cup. And he's been arrested for human trafficking, grape, which is what I have to say because of YouTube censoring, and possession potentially of underage, having videos of underage girls. And what's amazing about this is none of us are talking about the arrest and the charges. We're all talking about what he was wearing. And it's very rare in cases of grape that we more focus on what the man was wearing, which I think is the sign of society healing a little bit. It's not what was she wearing, it's what was he wearing. Because I feel like if you're ever going to be arrested for potentially having CP, if you dress like a LGBT matador, people are more going to focus on that than what you potentially have on your laptop. Fashion Week could learn a lot from Andrew Tate. Marc Jacobs, Prada, Burberry. If you're watching, this is how you get people talking about your clothes. Have the model arrested on charges of human trafficking, and we'll all go, ooh, this season of Gucci, though, looks fantastic. It's a shame that they were human trafficking, though. Whenever the Tates get arrested on these crimes, there's people go, it's the Matrix. It's the Matrix. Is it? What's more likely? The powers that be, governing bodies, the CIA, Mossad, MI5 are all getting together to take down the owner of Hustlers University because he's too powerful. The guy who has ran websites on literally how to pimp. He had a website detailing how to do this, explaining the lover boy technique. His real crime has been giving away the game. Lads, we can no longer human traffic without women cracking onto it. And that's the world we're in now. It's a goddamn shame. But really, what an outfit to be arrested in. What a way to go. That is a bad way to go to jail. Dressed like you're on the door at Heaven nightclub. You don't want to be going into the county jail in Miami dressed like that. That's for sure. That is for sure. Thank God he knows how to kickbox. Thank God. It's just funny that this is the guy who's like the ultra masculine man. I find there's this thing with modern masculinity whenever you look at the comments of people going like, it's the Matrix. Because the conspiracy theory is this: the world is now full of feminists who want men to be more feminine, and people like Tate are reclaiming masculinity, and he's become too powerful, so the governments are trying to take him down, making him, I don't know how they've come together, this cabal of people, to take him down. They made Tate ran a website about how to be a pimp. It doesn't make any sense. By the way, if the CIA are now taking out Andrew Tate, what a budget cut they have taken. They've gone from 9/11, assassinating Kennedy, Iran-Contra, to taking out a TikToker. And not even through assassination, just through getting him arrested. But you've got to give it to the way he's dressed. All the great alleged sexual predators, they all have a look. Russell Brand, allegedly, had a look. Saville had a look. And Tate now has a look. I don't know what it is about being a predator where you then have to go, I need to stand out from the rest of the predators. I can't just have a white van, drive around snatching people. I've got to have a look. I've got to have a thing about me. I want to walk in the room and people go, now that is a predator. Is any of this legal, what we're saying, by the way? I believe he's being extradited to the UK. And the UK law is very tight, and I don't want to do a Tommy Robinson here and end up contempt of court. It's always like the most loser men who defend him as well. We're reclaiming masculinity. Like if you watch that documentary, the Louis Theroux one, where he goes into the manosphere, and that guy turns up whose brother had unalived himself, and the guy said he didn't believe in depression, and that men's job is to suffer. It's so funny that their idea of being a man and suffering is just like doing press-ups till your arms hurt, and not the weight of existing and maybe dealing with that. Like, oh my God, I'm alive and there's other people and I'm not the only person in the universe and I'm also going to die one day. What mark am I going to leave on the world? No, they have to be like, do pull-ups, make it harder. Why don't you just go talk to a therapist. Everything about these guys is like, you got to make money, you got to get bitches, you got to have power, you should walk into a room and people know who you are. Is that not exhausting? Is it not hard enough being alive that I don't want to walk into a room and have everyone know who I am, okay? I'm a letdown. If you get to, I will let you down. I'm boring. I just want to play games on my phone. I don't really like going to things. Can I not live my life as a man like that? I already have to go out and do stuff. That's hard. That's difficult. Do you ever have to go do anything in life? Do you ever have anything in the diary knowing it's coming up that you have to do something? The fear that causes me, knowing there's a day where I have to wake up, shower, dress well, and go to a thing and go, hi, how's it going? And now I need to have a fucking 6-pack and a Bugatti. Now I need to have that as well as have conversation with people I'm not really bothered about talking to. Why do you not put this pressure on yourself? Tate's big thing, what colour's your Bugatti? I can't drive. The theory test throws me. There's no way, I shouldn't have a Bugatti. Not everyone's meant to have a Bugatti. Sometimes all you're meant to own is a PlayStation and a mattress on the floor, and that's all right. You're doing okay. We got out of caves as people, and now I have to pay tax. And sometimes I think I'd be happier in the cave. And speaking of caves, because of the algorithms, because of these things, because people like Andrew Tate are able to speak to young men, and that keeps popping up on their feed, it creates a Plato cave scenario.
Plato's allegory of the cave is a philosophical metaphor from the Republic that explores human perception, ignorance, and enlightenment.
Where they think that's what the world is. And I know I always bang on about this, but algorithms are ruining young people's mind. I'm 30.
Damn.
My mind's mush. My mind's absolutely gone. I'm just ranting into a camera. This is what I'm doing. I'm trying to hijack your algorithm. It's hard. Maybe I should get some sex trafficking allegation. That would boost the ratings for the show. I'd suck at traffic. I'm bad at admin, okay? Credit where credit's due. Human trafficking is a job that requires a lot of admin. A lot of emails, a lot of meetings. I would turn up to meet the people. Have you got the girls? That accent's from wherever you want it to be. And I'll go, oh, shit. Fuck. No, I forgot to go to the docks and open the container. Let's hope it's ventilated. Also, if you have these allegations, why are you going to countries where there's extradition laws? So not to give the Tate's advice on how to avoid being extradited for human trafficking. Allegedly. There's a lot of use of the word allegedly today. We're not going to be able to talk about the actual case because it would be quite funny if I got Andrew Tate off because they showed this. This is his pimp website. This is genuinely true. He had a website on how to be a PIMP, which whenever you say as a white person does lose some of its pizzazz. The official standalone website for Andrew Tate's How to Be a Pimp course, internally titled PhD or Pimpin' Hose Degree program. Now, I don't know if that was the Matrix. I'm not sure if you've bought the domain howtobeapimp.org. You can then go, guys, the Matrix is pretending I was a human trafficker. There's going to be some defense. It was about the Loverboy method, instructed men to target women via social media, feign romantic interest and build emotional dependency, monetization strategy. It detailed how to transition those women into adult webcam modeling or OnlyFans creation, financial control. It provided instructions on managing the women's earnings and keep a massive percentage of their revenue. Basically, he's a fucking comedy agent. There is no difference between what he's doing there and a comedy agent or an acting agent, by the way. Zero fucking different, especially the feigning interest. If you're getting into showbiz, by the way, just be prepared. They're going to call them an agent, they're a pimp. I love you, baby, but you got to go to Exeter and do a gig for Live Nation for daddy. Nobody going to want you anymore. I promise you, I'm going to get you live at the Apollo, baby, but you got to go out there and earn daddy some tricks. They're not going to have that voice. Oh, hi, mate, how's it going? They're going to sound like that. Yeah, I know, basically, like, I grew up in the counties, but, like, I actually love London. You know, like, having moved here, I feel like I'm part of it. He just creates an army of losers. The brokest I've ever been in life was when I was the most worried about divorce laws. When I was £3,000 in debt to the bank, that's when I was most worried at 21 about a woman coming along and taking everything I had. And all I had was a PlayStation 4 and a £3,000 overdraft. Realistically, if someone came and divorced me, they'd have taken half my stuff, which would have been £1,500 of debt. I would actually be better off. I would then only be £1,500 in debt. Divorce laws would have actually worked in my favor. But it's people who have the least who are most worried about people taking their nothing. When you've got nothing, People get so worried that someone else, they're going to come and take all of my nothing. What guy do you know who is into manosphere stuff is ever doing well? It's always the biggest loser you've met who stand around and be like, the problem with women is that they only care about things. They don't care about you as a man. So you got to make yourself a high value male. And they say this to women while on a hinge date with a woman who's currently paying for the drink. I swear to God, speak to any woman at the moment about going on hinge dates. Within an hour into the hinge date, the guy will go off on some red pill rant. And it's like, yeah, maybe don't let women know from the off that you're a fucking maniac, would be my dating advice. Maybe don't be a maniac because you're taking her to fucking Turtle Bay over a bit of the curry goat. You go on a rant about the Matrix. It's so funny that they use the Matrix as an analogy anyway, and the woman who wrote that's now trans. Like people, but I say this all the time, people do not understand cinema. They look at Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. That's me, I'm a Sigma. No, you're not. You're a weirdo. You're not Christian Bale from American Psycho. You're a weirdo who lives in your mum's basement and you're just deadlifting. That's all men care about now, showing women that they can deadlift. I'm going to put up a story of me deadlifting on Instagram. Women aren't impressed by that. Do you know who's impressed by that? Me. That's who you've got arriving in your DMs. Me. Going, that's immaculate form there, brother. Let's repress our homosexuality together. And this is the problem with online creation as well, and I'm part of the problem, but everyone has an opinion. And you get more traction if you just spit out conspiracy theories. So if you come out, I've seen a lot of creators doing this, going, they're arresting Tate as a distraction method. What are they distracting us from? What? The Epstein files came out, nothing happened. The Americans bombed schoolgirls in Iraq, nothing happened. We just had a World Cup. What? They're going, oh shit, the World Cup's coming to an end. We better distract everyone. Quickly, arrest Tate. Not everything has to be a conspiracy theory. Sometimes people do bad things, and you might like them. Look, I'll give the Tate brothers, they're funny. I've seen them on things. They've been funny. They're off the cuff. They're good. They're good performers. That's not why they're being arrested. The guy's allegedly done some bad things, and it's so funny to watch all the defenders of women and children and all of this stuff suddenly jump to Tate's defense, almost as if it isn't about protecting women. You use the defense of protecting women to be, all these things that they claim about male feminists. And look, a lot of male feminism is performative as fuck. You could spot it from a mile off. But all these guys who do standing outside hotels to protect women and bring back masculinity and Christian nationalism, the minute someone in their group is found to be a menace to women, they're like, oh, it's made up. Women lie. It's like, well, what one is it? Do you want to protect women or not? Fucking idiots. This is the problem. The world is full of fucking idiots. And I know that because I'm a fucking idiot. I'm smart enough to realize I'm dumb. I was in bottom set at school. I tried to get out of it. I couldn't get out of it. I tried my hardest, and I don't know the difference in the spelling of there, and there. But I knew I was in bottom set. The rest of people in bottom set with me, they didn't know they were in bottom set. They didn't know that was the bottom set. They thought every set was like that. And they now can go out there and engage with the world. And that was back when I was like 13. Can you imagine what 13-year-old boys are like now? Not only are they fucking thick, their algorithm is telling them that they have to take testosterone and drive a Bugatti. It's impossible. Not everyone's going to own a Bugatti. It's just not everyone's going to be able. You're not going to have a Lamborghini. That's fine. That shouldn't be your value in life. I wanted to own a Lamborghini when I was like 18. Because I thought that would give me some value. And do you know what happened? I went on a couple dates with women. I said that and they went, you're a fucking idiot. And I went, women don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they want. I know what's best. And I didn't. Do you know why? Because I was in bottom set at school. I was a fucking idiot. Do you remember when idiots were just idiots? Like my mate's mum. You'd ask her about anything political and she'd go, oh, don't ask me about that. I haven't got a clue. And then the other day I saw her share a thing on Facebook because she's now involved in politics because Facebook is just showing her AI videos. It was an AI video of some refugees arriving on a dinghy at Downing Street, and Starmer opened the door and went, come on in. And she went, I can't believe he's done this. And I was like, firstly, like, where to even begin? But if you designed a dinghy that could cross the channel, then drive up the beach, and then drive to London, those people are literally engineers. You would want those people. They're clever people. They're smarter than my mate's mom. I'd rather send her to Syria. She'd be happier in Afghanistan under the Taliban. She wouldn't notice any difference to her life whatsoever under the Taliban. Not at all. Literally wouldn't have a fucking clue that she was living under an oppressive regime. She wouldn't notice. Like, I don't understand how it's come manosphere to be like, maybe eat healthily, go to the gym, work out. Just everything there is in life is a grift. And I'm tired of it. Social media used to be a place for me to open my phone and see what my mates were up to. And now it's just me being told I'm not good enough. I'm not a man. I should feel suffering. I should feel pain. I need to read Nietzsche. I'm not going to read it. It's fucking long. I didn't get through Biff and Chip in bottom set. Let's start with that. Maybe I should complete Biff and Chip and work my way up to Nietzsche. I'm not going to understand it. It's okay to be inadequate. It's part of the human experience. You don't need to treat people like crap all of the time to make yourself feel better. You can just do what I do and go, oh, I'm an average run-of-the-mill guy who's going to live, who's going to die, and probably not matter. I'm not going to be Alexander the Great. I haven't got the work ethic. I'm not into conquering places. I don't need to see myself as a king. Not everyone can be a king. That's how monarchies work. There's only allowed to be one king. You're all kings. No, you're not. Some of us are serfs. Just be a serf. If you accept that, you will be so much fucking happier. See, men just watch sports, have distractions and all of that. Yeah, the weight of living. Is it not enough to just fucking have to live to be alive? Just meet someone, get on with them, try be nice to people who serve you at the coffees at the place, go on a holiday every now and then, watch football, wait for GTA 6 to come out. Is that not good enough? What happiness is the Bugatti going to bring you? You can only drive 20 miles per hour where I live. There's no need to have a car that goes 250 miles per hour. You're greedy. Once you accept that, you will get laid a lot more. That's the other thing. Once you accept you are bang average, nothing puts women off more than a subpar man thinking he's high value. No, what women like is a subpar man who goes, hey, I'm subpar. This is the best that you can do. I'm not going to own a Bugatti. I'm not going to be able to take you away in a private jet. I've dated a girl who flew on a private jet before, by the way. And I told her, never, ever, ever expect that from me. Maybe at best you're getting an Uber Comfort. At best. And I'm going to bring it up for a year. Babe, do you remember that time I got you an Uber Comfort? Maybe lower your voice, okay? Show me some respect. I'm a mid-value male, okay? It was your birthday. I got you an Uber Comfort. So zip it, toots. Everyone you look up to and idolize does human trafficking. That's just the world we're in now. Anyone you enjoy. If you enjoy me, I'm going to end up human trafficking. That's how it works, apparently. I'm going to be involved in a human trafficking ring. And I will fucking half-ask it. Don't you worry about that. I once did a joke about Andrew Tate online, and a woman went, if you're happy to joke about him, maybe you have similar allegations. And I had to ring my agent and be like, I'm being accused of human trafficking. And my agent genuinely went to me, you don't even reply to emails. There's no way you do human trafficking. Do you know how nice it is as a man to see that people don't believe in you as a human trafficker from a sheer admin perspective? Not on your ethics or your morals, just on how useless you are. If Tate invited me in the Bugatti, I'd fucking go. I'd be like, wee! I'd be such a girl in there. I would be the most like, I'd be doing the most like taking videos of me in the Bugatti, like, yeah, at the club, you can't sit with us. That's my dream. My dream is to be a nightclub hoe. I don't want to do any of the work to get to that position. I just want to be there and get absolutely railed by a sultan. I am at my heart a nightclub hoe, but unfortunately, I've been put in the body of a low-value male. Once a lot of men accept that they too are just the kind of guy you go, oh, yeah, he's all right. You will be happier when you realize you're not going to do anything of any note. None of the kids you have, none of your family are going to do anything of any note. They're just going to live and die, and that's absolutely fine. They're just going to experience existing. You're just some guy called Keith or something. You have a limp handshake. You do staycation. You don't need to go in the private jet. A lot of people in private jets, they get assassinated. Don't put yourself at risk of that. There's no one you know who has a private jet is a good human being. That's why the jet has to be private. I mean, if I have enough money to fly private, I will delete this video. This has been The Steel Show, people. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Please stop listening to fucking influencers all the time telling you you're not enough, because you are. The fact that you're alive is enough, okay? Stop listening to these people. You don't need millions of dollars to be happy. You don't need all of these cars. Just find happiness within yourself. Get a good friendship group. Be in a fun group chat. Look at some good memes. Have a TV show you like. That's enough.